gotta say, I am fantastic. La la la. I am fantastic.
Good morning, America. Look at that view. You know, I love Malibu. It's the most amazing place. They have amazing views. Anyway, let's see what happens today. Friday, I think it's the 6th of December, something like that. Stay tuned. Be fantastic, everybody. Okay, I've reached my destination, and as you can see, it's one house away from the end of the main county maintained road. Little power station there. There's the oceans and the mountains below. Look at that house down below there. A little pool. I mean, it's the end of the world here. It's the top of the world. It's beautiful Malibu. And that's the home of the young lady I'll be picking up. And I'm going to guarantee you she's going to give me an interview. Because I'm going to have a fun ride, as I do every day. And you get to enjoy my rides and my conversations. And I hope you do enjoy them, because that's what they're designed to do, is to entertain. Look at this hillside. My goodness. Damn. Can you see how steep that is? It's gorgeous up here. Gorgeous. There's a house that burned down right there. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. Okay, so let's see what happens. Well, everybody, you know me as Dr. Fantastic, professor of positivity, possibly and practically the most positive person on the planet. But not only am I a positive person, I am a lucky son of a gun, because I had to drive to the top of the world to meet this gorgeous young lady, but I made it. She's the second to the end of the top of the world, and she's a comedian, or an ex-comedian. Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Comedian? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to say that anymore.
Oh, is that right? Is that a Me Too thing?
Yeah, or
Oh my goodness.
yeah, I don't know what
you know, in the old days, I was a womanizer and playboy, and I'd pick up chicks. That's what we did. We said to the guys, let's go out and pick up some chicks, right? God forbid you should even say that probably nowadays, right? Because
yeah.
I mean, don't guys want to meet girls anymore? I mean, isn't that how it works?
They do. They're just not allowed to say it. You're just supposed to like keep it in your pants, shut up, sit there, and then die.
I guess.
Die early.
I mean,
you guys are dying early now.
It's amazing. We didn't have, when I was a kid, we didn't have car seats. We got beat with belts. You know, I mean, it was a whole different world. Right?
Car seat, they had Corvairs. The dashboard was guaranteed to kill you. I was
Corvairs.
just talking about this the other day. Ralph Nader, yeah.
You know, they have
How
these...
old are we?
Well, we won't talk about that. It's how young are we?
Last century.
Well, I always say that... Oh, you should put your seatbelt on.
Oh.
I always say that...
See, that's another thing we never had to do.
Exactly, but this ringing bell, happens. But the thing is, you think we're so safe now because you got the airbags. I mean, not only just one airbag, they got airbags over there, airbags up there, right? Airbags everywhere, so you think you're real safe. What they should have is daggers pointing at you, so you drive a little safer, right?
Yeah, that's certainly one way to look at it.
I mean, if there was a dagger pointing at you right now, you'd probably drive a little safer, right?
Well, you're certainly not going to be one of those assholes that hits the brakes in front of somebody that's tailgating you.
Okay, so I always ask this question. I had a show years ago called Make a Hollywood Movie, and I'd always ask the stars and the people behind the camera, or anybody in the business, what was their dream in life? Because not everyone wanted to be a movie star. Someone wanted to be a football player or what have you.
Yeah.
And then I always ask advice in their thing. But nowadays, I'm asking about your passion. What's your passion in life?
Wow.
What makes you jump out of bed in the morning?
Oh, God.
Or do you jump out of bed in the morning?
Yeah, no, not so much anymore.
So you drag yourself out of bed? That's not healthy.
Yeah, no, it's not really so much dragging. It's, I don't know. I just got married for the first time a year and a half ago.
Oh,
so it's
congratulations.
It would be like, for one of the first times, it would be a person.
See, now that's tough to live over 30 years. You're probably like 32 or something like that.
Yeah, right.
But let's just say you're 32. To live 32 years on your own, well, let's go 42, okay? And then all of a sudden have to share your life with, so I'm a life coach.
as
Yeah,
well.
actually, it gets worse because I was an only child and my mother was never home. I was what they don't have anymore. Now they call them, we need a nanny.
Right.
But we were called latchkey kids.
Right.
You know, where you and the burglar both could find the key under the mat.
Yeah. Because my best friend and my cousin are over 50 now. Well, my best friend's over 60, as I am.
Yep.
And they're bachelors still. And I don't think you can go that many years and eventually get married. I mean, it's rare because you're so used to doing your thing
Oh, yeah.
and being
Oh,
in
yeah.
control of what you want to do.
Oh,
now
it's
you have
bad
to
enough.
have.
It's my understanding, because I never really thought I was going to get married. But by the time I got to a certain age, I just kind of gave up. But it's my understanding, after having spoken with married people of all ages, it's really hard to blend a relationship, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, but it is much, I believe you're right, it's much harder, but it gets worse. Because if you like psychology, think about this. What that also generally means when people haven't been married their entire lives and are waiting until the end is you know, they're pretty selfish. You know, I mean,
And that's okay.
Not.
And
Well,
that's
yeah,
okay,
no,
too.
what's more selfish is to marry somebody when you're incredibly selfish.
Right.
But what even though logically at a certain age you know that, okay, I can't behave this way, but that's where, to your point, your brain just goes right to, but this is how I've done it.
Well, I have a lot of
50
theories.
years.
If you start watching my channel, I think you come first, okay? And your opinion is the only opinion that matters. When you come first and you love yourself, you can love others, okay? But you have to come first. A lot of people say, oh, my husband or my wife comes first. That's bullshit. You have to come first, and then, of course, you can make other people happy. Now, when it goes to having children, that's, you know, that giving up your life, you have to. And that's
Yep.
the truly unselfish thing to do, which most people don't do,
and
though.
nobody ever, right?
That's
I
the
never
problem.
had kids either, so
Yeah,
I mean, we're dealing with very, you know.
And at least as a latch kid, you were on your own. You didn't have a nanny, you know.
No, but I was
bringing
already
up.
on my own.
Right.
You know, and you know, I was like 6, and it just went.
And nowadays,
forward from
that
there.
begins the law, right?
Yeah.
To leave a 6-year-old alone.
Right, that's what I was just saying. They're not allowed to have those anymore. I was wondering what happened to the phrase, and then I remember you can't do that. It's called a nanny. You have to
can't
have
even
a,
yell at your kids. They'll call child services. It's gotten ridiculous.
That's why I never had kids. I'd moved to, you know, like out of the country.
Yeah.
I'd raise my kids out of the country. Oh, no, you know what? No, honey. Where mommy's from, we're not allowed to.
Where
do
are you
this.
from, by the way?
I was born in Florida,
Florida, Floridian. Which city?
Hollywood.
Hollywood, Florida. Wow. I got hit by lightning on top of the Contemporary Hotel in Orlando.
Oh, I love that place. You probably have different feelings about it.
Yeah. So,
You got hit by lightning.
yeah, well, my buddy, one of my friends, we were a group of us. I was hitchhiking around the world. That's one of my stops. And he said, you know how fast the storms roll in, right? And he said, man, you can get hit by lightning up here. And we all laughed at him. There was 6 of us. And he bolted into the restaurant that was on top of the roof. Because we were on top of the roof, right? And as soon as he got through that door, I swear, a bolt of lightning came down, and it looked like it was about a foot above my friend's head. We all got shocked, and then we bolted for the door and started drinking pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But that was an experience.
Alcohol. What a great
Isn't
thing.
alcohol great?
It's when I grew up, I had a friend whose dad owned a liquor store chain in northern Florida, all of northern Florida. And what a great business. They were so rich. What a great business.
Well, the thing is, people drink in times of despair, you know, when
and
it's...
they lose $1 million, they make $1 million.
And they drink
You
when
got
they're
'em.
partying.
That's right.
So I'll have a drink when I'm really happy, and I'll have a drink when I'm really sad.
That's right.
Why
You're gonna
not?
make it right.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, it's
We're now on PCH. Guys, you missed the most amazing ride down Latigo Canyon. You're living on top of the world.
Yep.
How'd you end up there?
Oh,
Top
you
of the
know,
world with that.
when I moved, I moved to the very top of. I lived in a cottage at the very top of Latigo, and then so that was just down the road,
Uh-huh.
and
That's a beautiful house you have. And you're the second to the end.
Yeah.
Do you hear buzzing by any chance by that electrical stuff? You don't hear that buzzing, do you? From the electricity?
No.
There's a lot of electricity next to you.
It's a relay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me about your stand-up career. How long did that last, or are you still doing it?
No, I haven't been on stage for a while.
What was your shtick?
Oh, just, you know,
Life?
Observation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing. I wasn't,
Like
no
being
fan of Carrot Top
a single
anything.
chick or something like that?
No, I didn't talk about being a chick.
Because I tried stand-up, and it was
You're
all about
pretty
having no memory.
I'm so glad you're driving.
Well, I am driving.
Yeah. No, I said I'm so glad you're driving. The 2 sheriff's cars going right now.
Yeah.
These guys look like, I don't know if they're either going to lunch or someplace else. This is a place important.
Yeah. Getting pulled over is no fun. But I usually get my way out of it now as being Dr. Fantastic. So I do a video every day, right? A couple months ago, I got arrested for picking up a hitchhiker at the airport. 2 girls with luggage. I thought they were in distress, so I said, okay, I'll pick them up. Well, it was a sting operation. And by the way, this video got over 550 views so far. I haven't checked it lately, but it's hilarious. As they're handcuffing me, I'm going, this is fantastic, because I know I hadn't done anything really wrong, right? And I've never been arrested before or handcuffed,
Yeah.
even for fun. But it was a fantastic experience. And so in the back of the police car, he's driving me to a little location where, you know, they do the processing. And I said to him, so how are you today? And he goes, good. And I gave him the speech. I said, how would you like to be fantastic? And I gave him my Be Fantastic speech. Well, by the way, you haven't heard it yet. I'm not sure. But basically, every day you get asked how you are, right? Every single day.
Yep.
And everyone says good. And how are
Say
you?
great, or fantastic.
If you say fantastic, you live longer,
Yep.
you're happier, and you look better. And you're going to be more successful in business, and you're going to help make the world a more civil society. What does
what
that
if
say
you
right
say-
there? Read that right there. What does it say we're doing? Pollinating.
Oh, it is pollinating positivity and cultivating civility.
That's what this movement's doing. And I want you to be part of it, because we need beautiful women and beautiful people and fantastic people to spread the message of being civil to one another. No one's civil.
No, you're right.
No one cares about you and me on the road right now. Nobody. All we are is an obstacle in their way to get to that red light to make money. That's all they care about.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, but we can change it. Now, what I figured out is that the governments aren't going to make this happen, right?
They can't.
The corporations aren't going to make it happen. It's you and I that's going to make it happen.
Right.
People can make it happen. And I've got 2,000 people that have agreed with me. They're on my YouTube channel.
Right.
I've got a radio show that I'm promoting it, and a podcast, and this show like this, where I talk to fantastic people, because everyone has a fantastic story. And you have a fantastic story. Tell me the biggest crowd you performed in front of.
Oh, you know what? I never thought of it that way. It was, Craig. I don't know. It was Long Beach. Was it Long Beach? There was I don't know, a few thousand. Not, you know.
A couple thousand. So you feel the energy from them, right? You feed off the energy, right?
Yeah, I mostly fed off my personal fear, but
Personal
the failure. Yeah, I have, mine was so extreme that it actually came all the way back around to itself and helped, you know,
Okay.
used it to make positive out of it. It didn't end somewhere where I was just freaking
Well, the
out.
thing is, you put pressure, you put fear, you put stress on yourself. Because bombing in front of a couple thousand, well, I'll tell you a story. There was 2,000 people in the Hard Rock Cafe at one party. I used to be in show business, right? Well, I still am, but I had a post-production company, and it was a private party at the Hard Rock Cafe in Vegas. And they had karaoke during the party. And I was pretty sauced, and wasn't prepared, and they threw me up on stage. And then I love Mac the Knife. I love that song,
Great
Mac
song.
the Knife. Great song. Fantastic song.
My husband sang that song.
Yeah. And so I started singing it, and literally,
Mac.
yeah, there's Mac. We just passed Mac's air conditioner. Literally, everyone in the joint, 2,000 people were booing me, started booing me. Boo! Imagine that. The energy from all those boos. Well, I was drunk, I didn't give a shit. So I still sang the song. And I'm not a good singer, but I love that song until I finally got to the end and it goes, now that Maggie's back in town. And I got a horrendous applause. I think because it was over. But that was an experience that most anyone who's an entertainer would abhor, of course, getting booed. But that was the biggest crowd I've had in telling people to be fantastic is about 400. And when you get 400 people saying I am fantastic, it's an energy like you can't imagine. It really is pretty cool. Man, I'm having a fun time doing it. And what are you hiding from the camera?
No, I was just thinking of a friend of mine's line that my husband's tired of hearing about, he was a comic, and it was that he played classical music and the audience booed him. Like Beethoven, da-na-na-na, you suck. I'm like, hey, I didn't write this shit.
That's funny.
I thought it was funny. I don't think he ever did it on stage, but it always cracked me up. I didn't write this shit.
Yeah,
You can also do it with like acting,
I was listening to George Carlin the other day.
Yeah.
What a genius he was.
Yeah.
Funny as fuck on
Started
the planet.
losing it near the end, but yeah.
Well, we all lose it at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. He got kind of.
Ronald Reagan
Caught up in the-
was a friend of mine. He dated my mom, and he had total recall when I knew him as governor, and then a little bit as president. And at the end, he had zero recall.
Oh my gosh.
He had the Alzheimer's thing.
Oh my god.
But he had total recall. You ever known anyone that has total recall? It's Mary Lou Henner. Have you met her yet? You know who Mary Lou Henner is, right?
Yeah.
She has total recall.
Wow.
She can tell you every moment of her life in vivid detail.
What a great thing for an actor.
Yes, 100%.
Read your script one time.
Or comedian. I love comedy. I think comedy is the best medicine.
Yeah.
You have to laugh at yourself, of course. So my shtick was
Yeah.
about having no memory. Now, as you might know, or you may not know, having no memory has good things about it and bad things about
Yeah.
it. I could watch the same movie over and over and over again
Yeah.
and get just as much enjoyment from it.
Right.
The bad news is I rent the same movie over and over again,
Yeah,
and my
I
wife
do the same thing.
yells at me because she said, you just rented that last week.
Right.
So now I call her from Redbox and I say, have we seen this one? And she goes, yes. And now I ask her, did we like it? Did I like it? Another thing is I always try to, I want to cure it, right? So I buy these medicines and I buy these tapes, but I can never forget where I put them or remember to watch them. So that's a bummer.
No.
Ka-ching!
That's like the memory pills, but I forgot where I can't
Exactly.
remember where I left them.
But it's literally, it's really the truth with me.
Henny Youngman.
Henny Youngman.
Yeah. I gotta take my wife everywhere I go because she's too ugly to kiss goodbye.
That's pretty funny.
He's funny as hell.
So
And my favorite, a friend of mine was arrested the other day on sodomy charges. But he's got a great attorney. Thinks he can get it reduced to following too closely.
Okay. How about blonde jokes? You must know a bunch of blonde jokes.
No, I don't.
Really?
No, I didn't. I never did jokes like that. I when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I did jokes like that, but I don't do like jokes like that. I wrote all my own stuff.
That's pretty cool. Can you give me a little? I've had rappers do rap in the car here.
Oh, that's
Singers
funny.
sing.
Yeah.
Scientists, scientific.
Is it scientificate?
Scientificate, exactly.
Make it really
Pontificate. But can you remember a little routine for us,
Science.
for the audience here?
Oh, I don't know. I'll just have to be funnier in conversation.
Well, you are funny so far. You're making me
Yeah,
laugh.
it's hard. It's like I can't explain it. It wouldn't have mattered if I'd gotten in front of a crowd of 10,000 people or 15,000.
Right.
It didn't matter to me if there, as long as there was over 10, because that's a really bad room when there's fewer.
Oh my goodness! You know what I can't stand is when I do a speech and one person has got a frown on. Right?
Oh,
my
you know what?
gosh!
Yeah, it was like,
That's so hard to get over.
Oh, it's okay. People sit in the front row with their arms crossed and stare at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, ignore them. I mean, I was very fortunate. I was so desperate. I mean, it wasn't desperate. I just didn't want to be not funny. And I just
Right,
was
of
very
course.
fortunate to
What?
have good, so I didn't
Well, see-
have, but I never, I didn't pick on anybody. Nobody ended up on a side with me, per
Right.
se. It was never like, women are brilliant and men are idiots, or,
Right, right.
there was just no dividing thing. I never thought of
Did you
comedy
find
that way.
the only thing that I would think that was a detriment to you being a comedian is you're not funny looking, you're pretty, and I would think being pretty would be harder.
Yeah, well, I never thought of it that. Plus, I always dressed way down. I wore wrestling shoes and baggy jeans
Okay.
and sweaters from
Ugly sweaters.
it was an old wool sweater. I get it from like the Salvation Army or something. I still
right.
have it. So I dressed up a couple of times. It didn't. I never thought about it. I just overcame it. I'd love to get back on stage again sometime.
Well, why don't you?
I don't know.
I mean, for fun. That's what life's all about, is having fun.
Yeah,
And
but
you'd have fun
yeah.
doing it, knowing that there's no pressure on you to be
Yeah,
successful.
but that's the whole thing. Is there's incredible pressure on me to be not funny or loved or whatever it is. So much so that I go all the way full circle to being okay again, as opposed to just going, oh God, I'm having a panic attack or anxiety. I can't even get on stage. I'll get on
See,
stage.
the thing about
and
being
I'll
judged
push
is
through.
you're caring about other people's opinions.
That's what
which-
makes you funny.
But see,
that's why
they don't matter. Those opinions don't matter, though.
Well, it does to people like that. It does to probably to a lot of show people.
Oh, sure.
I mean, especially how they think about it. Wow, I like showbiz right now. It's so stinking liberal, and there's in every way, not just politically, but I mean all the way through family, politics, just children, everything. Every policy they think of is so liberal. You're not allowed to say certain.
Yeah,
it's
there's
just-
no freedom of speech anymore.
which is odd because that's kind of the opposite of liberal when you think about it. Liberal would be like, we can't shut this asshole up,
Right.
but the other one makes you shut up completely, political, or you have to say something you don't necessarily mean.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's and then especially the politicians, they say one wrong thing and their career could go down the tubes. One time.
God.
They really got to watch
That's
what they
why
say.
I love Donald Trump. My husband hates it. God, he hates him. I crack up.
Oh,
Because
he's hilarious.
You know what? He can say it.
I think he's a stand-up
and
comedian.
he freaking gets away with it. It cracks sad.
Well, you know
it
what-
cracks me up.
You know what it is there's no, you heard the saying before, no exposure, what is it, the saying, is bad exposure?
But no, it
no
is.
news is bad news, is what I think is what it is. Is that
No,
what they're saying? What's the saying?
The only bad press is no press, or something like that. Is
Because
another
he's
version
in
of
our
it.
heads every day. He's tweeting. No
Yeah.
president ever tweeted like this.
But it's not
He's
just that. But it goes to what you said first, which is that a politician can say one word he doesn't mean, and it's completely over.
Correct. Except
Right?
Donald Trump.
And then this guy can say one word in every sentence.
Yeah.
He speaks, types, mails, whatever. I mean, I
think it's,
and then he just goes, "Hey, I'm fucking fine. What's wrong with you?" The guy's from Queens. I love it. I love it. And
He's
then what I
pretty funny.
love more than anything, because I do comedy, right?
Right.
I love looking at the people's faces. Stuff, and they're just
Oh, yeah.
like, "Oh God, the pearl clutching is beyond anything."
what I think is a shame is, and it's amazing that your husband hates him and you love him, because people are breaking up friendships and families because of him. And that's, I think, the shame.
Are they really?
Oh, yeah.
Why? He's probably the most honest, politician that we've ever had, because he doesn't feel like he has to lie.
Right.
or
Right.
you know, to like it's like a
Well,
politician
he
where
doesn't
they're
answer-
not allowed to say
He
what
doesn't
they
answer to anyone. He's not answering
Exactly.
to anybody. And that's why I felt he was going to be
right.
the
And
president.
every politician has all their donors, all of
Exactly.
their. I mean, they've got
They gotta-
lobbies. I
Exactly.
mean, they've got.
They
right.
got to kiss ass to the lobbyists.
That's right. And all their donors
Right.
and their constituent, however, you know, whatever's going on back in their actual, right. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he must be having the time of his life.
He's just, you know what, he's one of those guys that really enjoys power. He gets off on it, not in a bad way, not like Hitler
Right.
power, which is what they want us to believe. But just like, you know, look, I sleep 5 hours a night. I'm a fucking workaholic. I don't drink. I don't
Never
smoke.
drink. Isn't that amazing?
But no, but there's got to be something. So he had women, you know, well, thank God, because he would have exploded. No booze, no cigarettes, no what?
You gotta have some vice.
Holy crap! I wouldn't want to see him in the middle of the dark alley. Man, that's sad. So you know, pent up. But you know, he's. I just don't. Anyway. He strikes me as completely honest, and
Well, he
just-
is. He
it
is.
just cracks me up.
He is.
You know, and honestly, the call was perfect in a way that okay, well, nothing is perfect,
First off,
but he can say it so you know exactly what he means. He means there was nothing
well,
really
it's ridiculous.
wrong.
It's so black and white, everything now. There's no gray area. It's he said this, and he said he did say that, and it's going to come out because everything he says is written down.
Right.
Every word he says, right?
You think they figure that they
And-
can't win it. It's so funny.
All
'cause-
phone calls are recorded from the
Yeah.
president because for his legacy, everything is recorded.
He's something else, that's for sure.
You think you'll ever meet him? What would you say if you met?
I heard
Trump?
him speak once. I loved him before he was ever elected.
Well, he did raise some pretty good children, I think.
He's not a bad person. The only thing that even remotely makes him look bad in anybody's eyes when this whole thing started off
Uh-huh.
was the fact that he said, that he was with the women. Well, what?
Isn't that a free pass when you're a billionaire?
Not just that, but a guy that likes beautiful women.
Good.
Most guys can't get women of that ilk.
Exactly.
And so that's his thing. He didn't get married and stay married for 60 years.
Right.
But I mean, that was the big thing. Nobody would think about that. Presidents have had mistresses forever.
John Kennedy, everybody, yeah. Everybody.
I mean, Clinton, that was the last impeachment. Whatever. I mean, this is just bullshit. That's all I can say. Because there's nothing. If he had done anything wrong over the years, it would have all been found out. Because he was such a
But then they'll
personality.
go through the process, and then it'll die, and it'll go away, and they'll find something else to try to nail him on.
You just can't. Everybody's gonna vote. Let people vote. Oh, I think we need to get into the lane.
Going right?
No.
We're going
But
that way?
They're gonna take the lane away. We're gonna go back around, but there's not a lane here.
We're going that way?
No, we're going this way under the freeway.
That's mean that way.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant the lane turns that way. No. I don't know why they have that.
I think you said Tarzana. Where are we going to Tarzana?
Thousand Oaks.
Oh, Thousand Oaks.
Yeah.
Sounds like Tarzana. So close. How could I mistake that? So you're not working now, or are you working?
No.
That's a great life. Who wants to work if they don't have to? I would never work. Well, I don't really work.
Some people. I bet Donald Trump would work. Just going back to our point. There's
I
people
don't
like
get
that.
when you have billions of dollars, why you would.
It's
work.
not about the money.
not
That goes right back to the stereotypical. That's the way you keep score.
Oh, well, the art of the deal.
Because
juice,
once you already have,
the juice of the deal. You can only eat 3 meals a day,
and they don't,
and fly in one jet at a time.
And you got to pay for your woman at the time,
Right.
Which is the most expensive because I don't think that they're it's Yeah, I think the most important thing is that they maintain power. They want to. They like working. They like being, in control, and he's really good at that.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the first times I allowed talking about politics.
I'm sorry.
I don't talk politics or religion because those are the things
Yeah.
are taboo. But what we really didn't talk politics. We talked
Yeah.
about a guy. But I would like you to tell the audience, anyone who wants to be a stand-up comic, what advice would you give them?
Oh God. Make sure people have told you were funny before you even think about it. And here, I don't even know if they have this anymore, but they used to have modeling colleges.
Yeah, I'm
When
sure
I
they
was
do.
young.
Oh, yeah, they do. I'm
I'm
sure.
trying to remember whether Barbizon.
Right.
Everybody remembers Barbizon Modeling School.
Well, they certainly have comedy schools.
It was a modeling school.
Yes.
And so,
Improv
it
schools.
dawned on me, it's how can you teach someone to be...
You have to have a funny bone. It's called a funny bone.
Well, yeah, you can't teach somebody to be 5'9" and weigh 115 pounds.
Right.
Especially if they're 5'3".
No, you should be funny looking. Like, I have the perfect look right now to do some comedy, right?
You don't
With
have
this
to be
beard.
funny looking, you have to be funny.
By the way, you didn't
And
know.
the best way is for people to tell you before you get on
You
stage.
didn't
I
know-
saw
you
that on
didn't
your
know that
phone.
Santa was driving you today.
That's great.
Pretty funny, yeah?
No, it's great.
It is great. I got just a few minutes ago. I got a call.
You have
to
a
do
great
another,
voice.
to
You
do
sound
a-
like a happy Santa.
to do another Santa. I've got 4 Santa gigs so far. Everyone book Santa before it's too late. There's only 30 days in this month, or 31 if you count the last one.
Yeah. It goes fast, doesn't it?
It goes very fast. And so I have a lot of memes that I've created.
Uh-huh.
I've got a section on my app called Ask Dr. Fantastic Anything. And people have asked me questions. What they do is they take a selfie and they send it in. And then I make a selfie answer to it. So it's video, question and answer. They've asked me about aliens, about relationships, about work, about negativity.
Ah,
And,
when did you start doing this?
About a year ago. I've been doing this whole thing for about a year, developing it. And I've got it nailed down. I've got it nailed down. Westlake or...
No, we're gonna get off. I think it's called Moore Park.
Moore Park.
It's farther. It's not. I mean, it's about 3 more exits, 4 more exits.
I'm no hurry whatsoever. I'm in heaven right now. You agreed to do an interview, which is fantastic. We're having fun,
Yeah,
which is
this is
fantastic.
cool.
And that's what I do. That's what I do. And I can't wait to be, I got a Santa gig come up tomorrow at a yacht club. So I'll be Santa tomorrow. And this one that called me today, they want to have a hook and ladder come up and drop me off at the school. So
Oh.
Santa arrives in a
Where are
red
the
fire
kids?
engine. That'd be cool.
How old are the kids?
That's grammar school, I think, probably.
Oh.
So that's on the 20th. I've got one tomorrow, like I said, at a yacht club. I've got one in Beverly Hills at a pet store. So I guess I'm going to have dogs sit on my lap.
I'd rather have dogs than kids.
I love kids. They're great. They're great.
Are they well behaved? I can imagine it either goes one of 2 ways.
Yeah, exactly. Some kids are afraid of Santa. I did a speech the other day at the Ivy League Royal Academy in front of some private students. It was a private school. That was fun. And that was recorded, so it's on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna download Be Fantastic. Oh, I have a present for you. I've got all kind of swag. I've got shirts. I've got everything. But I have a present for you because you've been so helpful today by doing an interview. You're gonna love this. This is your Christmas present.
Oh, it's a button.
What does it say?
Be fantastic.
Is that freaking cool or what? Is that the best button you got today?
That's great. I haven't had a button since, I don't know, what mine used to say. I used to buy those all the time
Oh yeah.
until they started forcing
Pretty
people
popular.
to wear them at Fridays.
Fridays. I'm gonna have another bunch of 200 of these embedded with quantum mechanics, quantum entanglement, which is then they're gonna sell for $20.
Well,
But-
it already is if there's atoms involved.
Yeah. Well, no, I know all about quantum mechanics.
I do too. I was always fascinated
Yeah.
as a kid.
I went to a speech last night on that. It was pretty exciting.
Fred Allen Wolf fan? Or more like fame and you weren't
Yeah,
a
put it here.
serious
Put
scientist.
it on.
I was.
You won't ruin it. And I will also want you to consider, now that you know about the movement, is if this moves you and you like what we're doing, I want you to consider being what I call an ambassador of positivity. I've got 100 of them as of 2 days ago, and these are just people that dig what I'm doing, that see that it's important to pollinate positivity and cultivate civility, and all I need is your email, and you'll be on my newsletter, and you'll be invited to my events.
Oh, I can't.
But that's okay.
I would love to,
No worries.
but I love my husband, and I can't.
He should be part of it. What does he
Yeah.
do? What does he do?
He works for a musician. He's
Oh.
worked for him for about 20 years.
Well, I'm going to be doing concerts because that's the best way to promote this movement is to do concerts. And I've got the Santa Monica Civic on February 14th, which is Valentine's Day. So if you know any musicians that are available and that want to make money and do a gig,
Oh, this is it.
Moore Park?
I think so. Is that what it says?
Well, okay, we're going to shut off everybody because
Oh yeah, no, this is it.
this is it.
Yeah, I know where we are now.
I want everyone to like, share, subscribe. Consider being an ambassador. Not everyone can be one, but if you dig what we're doing, and we're doing some major things, but most of them right or
Here, I
left,
can
you
tell
think?
you one thing.
Right.
We're gonna make a right and then
Right.
stay in the far left lane.
Yeah.
I met Barry Manilow
Okay.
way, just maybe 8 years ago.
Right.
One of the nicest human beings, we're gonna make a left, I have ever met.
Yeah.
Honest to God.
Really.
The nicest,
Speaking
maybe
of
the nicest man I have ever met.
Really?
He was
Really?
so
Wow.
nice. And he talked to you like he knew you your whole life, like he was actually interested. And if Mr. Rogers did Copacabana, that's it. So I told him, I said, you are one of the nicest human beings I've ever met. And he goes, well, that's good to know because that's the most important thing to my father. He
Yeah.
always told me, no matter what,
Yeah.
be nice.
Be nice. Well, that's what this movement is. When you're a fantastic person, you're going to let people in when you drive in traffic. You're going to open doors for people. You're going to say please and thank you. And hello back when someone says hello. You're going to be kind and considerate and friendly and polite, but most importantly, civil. We need more civil people. Be accountable for your actions. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of Barry's, I was dear friends with Barry Gordy. We were
Oh,
the
wow.
best of friends for years. And he was...
I sure hope
he was
things
pretty
work
cool.
out for him.
Well, what's happening now?
No, I'm just making a joke because he's one of the wealthiest, most powerful, producers in the.
Well, we would have a lunch, and literally you get a call from the governor, and it's just me and him having lunch on his property, and he says, Mr. Gordy, the governor's on the line, and he says, tell him to call back, I'm with my friend. I'm going, are you kidding me? Take the call!
Right?
And that's how cool he was. It was so cool.
And then we're going to stick to the
You
left.
know where you're going.
Yep.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Jeanette, right?
Yep.
Jeanette's been incredible. I want to say fantastic. She looks fantastic. She is fantastic. She's funny. And everybody, when she comes on tour, I'm going to let you all know. And we're going to show up and applaud her. Have a fantastic day, everybody.
Gotta say, I am fantastic. La la la. I am fantastic.
Overpopulated cities around the world have caused people to become a greedy, selfish, and litigious society. Would you like to be happier, live longer, never be forgotten, and help make the world a kinder, more civil place? It's actually easier than you think. Every day you're asked, how are you? Instead of saying good, say I am fantastic. It will make you look better, feel great, and reduce your stress. Making the world a better place starts with each person. Please join the Be Fantastic movement today. What you want to be, you can be. Be fantastic.
I met Dr. Fantastic along life's way. And I heard him say, gotta say, I am fantastic.